Hi everyone, it's been a few days since I've been on my vlog, so I thought I would kind of just give you guys a little rundown of what's been going on. Christmas was okay, I did okay, and today I'm doing okay. Christmas Eve was also, I did okay. So I took a few days off, not to bother you guys with my my holidays, and let everybody enjoy theirs with their family and friends. I stayed home with my son and his old lady, and we just kind of just had lazy days. That was good for us. We liked that, and had a little tradition for Christmas morning. That was to have some chocolate milk and breakfast. So we did that. Let's see. But my grandsons had a blast in Iowa. They got to see their grandfather, my ex, and then they went to my daughter's for Christmas as well. So they had a wonderful time. It brought tears to my eyes to see them, celebrate with them. And then I was telling my son I live with that my wish is to get a place of my own here, so that I get next year throw the biggest Christmas ever. Let's hope, right? But my anxiety got the best of me today, and I think it was because of my mom's. This is the anniversary of my mom's passing, December 26th, and it is a lot to take in. If it's been 11 years, no, 10, 11, 12 years, 13, 12 or 13 years now, and I still get really upset and cry a lot. So this afternoon, which I cried really a lot, just didn't show it to my son and his old lady because I don't want them to, tell me that it's ridiculous, or I don't think that they would, but I just don't want to hear anybody tell me how to grieve for my mother, because it's hard. But she is in a better place, for sure. And doesn't have to worry about nothing, and that's a good thing, But it has been a hard day. So I've kind of been just staying in bed and not want to move, not go nowhere. And I do this every year since she's passed. I grieve for her beyond anything in this whole world. I think it was just mainly because I was just not a very good daughter towards her with my addiction being active in this, it was spiraling out of control. And I think as time, sorry, kind of got a little teary when I was talking about it. I think as time gets by, and I'm hoping that as time goes by, that it'll be much easier, and eventually it'll get so I'm not as upset. I'll miss her greatly. And then also my best friend, she died. Same age as me, everything, and it was from all the drugs. She had destroyed her life, and her health just deteriorated, and she died from it. And when my daughter called me and told me that my best friend had passed away, I said, oh, and she said, Mom, you're not going to cry about it. And I said, no. And she said, but you cry about, And I said, yeah, but, listen, I can't cry for somebody that died from being an active user. And she knew that her health was deteriorating. She knew she was having heart conditions, and she knew she had a stroke from the meth and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? And I feel bad for my friend. I do. I wish that she hadn't left her family behind. But now, excuse me. Now she, but now she knows that, she knew what she was doing. And we all know what we're doing when we're using. And it's just common sense. We're just killing ourselves slowly until we're dead. And I know that she's had just as crazy as life as I did. We were best friends when we were fucking like 13. We've known each other since we were little bit. Like when we were teenagers, we was like this, like you can't pull us apart for nothing. We've done everything there is to mankind to, to party and get high, drunk, whatever. Went to school doing the same fucking thing together, and that's crazy, but it's just the part that's just a part of life, So she passed away, and we'll find out here in a day or so of how she passed, because they found her dead. And so I'm just kind of curious myself of what killed her. But I know Lisa, and I probably shouldn't say, but her first name, but it's okay. I just know her better than anybody in this whole world. And she never had a plan of ever getting sober or clean. Her plan was just to keep using until she couldn't use no more. And that's how she was, and that's how she'll always be. Nobody's mad. I'm not mad. Her husband that she was married to for, I believe, for 20 plus years, maybe, he also died. He was a dope dealer and a user, and he died just like about a month ago. So, and I know that they were separated at the time, so I know that he had moved on with his life, pretty much doing what he does. But they both, his hereditary, and he knew that too. And that's what the whole thing is. We know what we're doing to ourselves. And I was telling my son as we got the message from my daughter, and we was in the car going to the store. And I said, boy, I don't miss doing the meth. I don't miss it. I don't care for it. You will never see me catch another, or never see me insert that shit in my body ever again. Now, I might realize something totally different, but for the meth, you are not catching me doing that ever again. And it just made me think about my children, about my grandbabies. And I can't leave none of them guys behind. And I know that my friend didn't want to leave her family behind either. And I know there was many nights when she would cry because she lost custody of her children. But she had cried many nights saying that, she missed her kids. I knew the feeling because I was going through it with her as well with my addiction. And losing my kids too. But my parents, just like hers, our parents together, this is crazy. This is a crazy story, but my parents took care of my kids, and her parents took care of her kids. So that she always, and I always had some, a way to be with our children. Because our parents just kind of believed that as long as they stayed in their care, that they were safe. But they also, that they, because the older children, these ain't newborn babies when this is going on, but they still had the relationship with the parent. And pretty much she got to stay with them and live with them. I did too. So it was like they were never really out of our, away from us. But to raise them, we had no say, and the consistency and the stability was, they knew that they had a home. They knew that the people who was taking care of them was the ones that had the best of their interest. And as for me and her, we were there just to be there. And I think both of our mothers kind of thought that that's what would bring us back to reality, and we didn't. That didn't work for her nor me. Her health, however, deteriorated right early in her life. And like I said, she's had strokes, heart conditions, diabetes. Oh man, she even got to a point where she was nothing but skin and bones. I've been to that point, I've been skin and bones, but that's when I had this eating disorder on top of my meth usage, and so, but now I don't have no eating disorder. I have a problem keeping food out of my mouth, and it's sad to say that because, like, I'm so overweight that now I have to, take medicine because, excuse, oh God, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm just so drained from just everything that's going on, but I'm, overweight. My body hurts. I have breathing problems now. When I went to the hospital back in August, I was like, I had fluids around my lung or heart or something. I can't quite remember the whole situation, but it was just really hard. It was really hard on my body. And it's now I can barely even walk, I can't walk a block anymore, and I'm gasping for air. And you think, well, you need to get, you need to exercise. I can't. I haven't even been using my treadmill to be walking because it's just so hard on my body and my back. Oh my God, and the pain in my back if I'm up too much, And I've done these, and I also did this volunteer work this week with Salvation Army, and it was very, how can I say it? I don't know the best word to say it, but it helped a lot. I love to give back. I love to give advice, and I love to learn why these people are sometimes in the situations they're in. Everybody has a story to share, don't they? And I think that, if we open our ears and let people speak, and sometimes that helps. And just as much as anything else, it's not going to solve all the problems in the world, but at least they know that their story's been told to somebody that cares. And I'm just that kind of person. And I do want to make a difference in people's lives. I do. But I think the best thing for me right now is just to, share my story. And when I get further along in my life, and if it's possible, then I can get back to the people. Just to show them that it is very much a possibility, or it is possible. Nothing's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to addiction. I believe addiction is not a disease that is uncurable. It is a disease, but I believe it's curable if you want it to be. That's just like anything that goes on with our bodies, right? Anything is possible to get it back, and I'm getting to get my life back. I'm fighting every day to breathe. I'm fighting every day to get up and walk. I'm fighting just to stay off the drugs, and I'm fighting to, I'm mentally, all those things. But I will make it, and if I don't, at least out here on this internet world, my story has been put out there now. And so somebody will hear it and say, well, that chick was, she had some issues. She tried to work them out best she could. And maybe that's, somebody needs that little kind of person. I'm not saying I have all the answers because I really don't have all the answers, but I just try to let you guys know what really goes on in somebody's real life. Not somebody that's been editing and filtering their things so that you can get so much in. If I was to sit here and if I want to talk 30 minutes, I will talk 30 minutes. And, that's what you get. I don't do meetings. I don't do treatment. I just, this is all me. Now in the past, I did the meetings, I did the treatment. It did not work. It had to take me. It had to take almost to die. To just sit there and say, what the fuck am I doing to my body? That's why I keep telling myself, and I'm not mad. I'm not frustrated with my friend about the ways that she only did the best way she knew how to. She was given opportunity after opportunity when her health was really deteriorating. And let me tell you, I may have had some close calls in life, I guess, but never was I hospitalized because of drugs. And so to be hospitalized because of drugs, because you almost die because you can't breathe, I would think that'd be the eye-opener. You know what I'm saying? But her situation, she was almost put in a nursing home because it was that bad for her. But she just, she kept doing the drugs. And it's so terrible to, hear that kind of stuff. Especially when it's your best friend, right? I've seen a lot of people overdose on drugs and stuff, and to me, that's just the part of the game of doing the drugs. You can have the shit's not that good. I don't want to say that it was good drugs, but things that, you can, I don't know. The drugs that are not to lace with bad stuff and to kill these people off, you know what I'm saying? And then, but over time, it's just a part of life if you're doing the drugs. But it's a reality. A lot of people are dying nowadays. And all we got to do, and maybe the withdrawals, and I know what people are going to say, withdrawals are hard. They could kill you. Well, they can. But I'd rather die from the withdrawing to get my life back than to die from a drug. They never had to be that way. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want my kids one day, if somebody says, well, how did your mom die? I don't want them to hear, oh, my mom died because she did drugs and she overdosed or, was given some bad drugs and it killed her. No, I want them to say, my mom died because she was old and maybe she had health problems because of her past, but that maybe she just went to sleep one night and didn't wake up. That would be wonderful. Then I know then they don't have to be some, I don't know, that but it would be hard if my parents was dope addicts and they would have died from dope. That would have been like, well, how did your mom and dad die? Oh, the drugs. No, I don't want that. I don't even want my my kids ever have to say that to anybody. And my daughter, both my daughters and both my sons, they love me, and I love them. They're the best kids in the whole wide world, or young adults now, except for my youngest. But I love them, and I don't need them to, sit up at night and worry about, is mom gonna make it? Is mom gonna live? I don't want to, like my daughter would say, Mom, when I was homeless and doing the drugs, I worry that one day I'm going to get a knock at the door from a cop and tell me that you're dead because you've been around these people that are doing the drugs and using them. And then the violence on top of it with your domestics, with prior relationships. And it makes perfect sense now, you know what I mean? But anyways, I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little story about that today. And I'll do another vlog tomorrow. Hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. And hey, we got New Year's Eve coming up. So let's hopefully we have a good New Year's Eve. Bye, you guys.